How's it going, YouTube? Oxy here, and welcome back. So today I'm reviewing the recent slasher film, uh, In a Violent Nature. It came out, this past. It was May 31st. I saw it like this past Wednesday, and to say it's a divisive movie is putting it lightly. So a quick plot, detailing. This movie, again, is a slasher movie, pretty much a Friday the 13th knockoff, told from the perspective of the killer. And this one being named Johnny, that you find out later in the film. He had a tragic death. He died in like a fire tower or like an accident. And he's been coming back, like he's undead, but he returns, and only his mother's like necklace or like locket, it's like a gold little necklace, keeps him at bay. And the movie pretty much opens with a group of teens, or right, like a group of campers finding his like burial site and taking the locket. And that's essentially the catalyst for the whole movie, because he gets up and he starts killing until he gets the locket. That's the basic plot. But again, it follows the killer, Johnny, and yeah. Um, the positives I can say is that the movie has great gore, great kills. Like, seriously. It's a shame how spread out they are, because some of them are great. My favorite being we'll call it the yoga kill. A girl in like a blue shirt. If you see the movie, or, I think that's definitely a favorite. It's a pretty brutal kill, all things considered. And yeah, it's like, that's really where the positives end for this film, because as most people have mentioned or heard, this film is like 90% walking. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, because I've seen reviews or heard, word of mouth about the film, that, oh, it's really boring. Like, all it is like the killer walking around. And, I was like, oh, maybe it's not that bad. But no, it's like, it feels like more than half the movie is literally just endless, like, scenes of Johnny walking. Because the camera, he shot from behind. So it's like almost a third person view. And it's literally him just walking through the woods. And there will occasionally be like, he'll stop, right? Or he'll hear someone. And we get it. Again, it's the killer's perspective, so we know, like, oh, this is his next target or what have you. And again, the kills are pretty spread out. Like, the first half of the movie, like, you get one in the beginning, but then after that, it feels like you don't get one for the next 30 minutes, because most of that is him just walking. And yeah, because you can look at it from the perspective, is this like an art film, right? Like, is it trying to, because you can give it credit in the sense that it's different for the slasher genre, right? It's the perspective of the killer. But in that same note, it's like, yeah, but for a viewing experience, it's pretty bad. Like, most of the movie is just walking. Like, it's like, you can establish that in the film. Like, obviously, this is like what most killers in movies have to do, right? To appear everywhere they do, it's a lot of walking around or what have you, right? And like, but like, you could show that once or twice, and like, we get it, we get the message. But having that be like most of the movie is not great. Like that and the ending, which I guess spoilers, but it's not really like it's a deep film. Um, so there's a surviving girl, right? She's the one that has the necklace, and she pretty much comes across because it's her and a guy who are like the last two, if you will, and Johnny is killing the guy. Like it's pretty comical almost that he is just bashing this guy. Like he's already axed him in the head, but then he's just like endlessly just wailing at the body. And the girl, in a smart way, is kind of like, yeah, F this, leaves the necklace and whatever they were going to try to trap him, and just runs away, right? And then the film, the last like 20 minutes almost, is just her getting picked up, right? She injured her leg. She got like a what? She got stabbed by like a branch. You know, she fell, whatever. She gets picked up, hitchhiker style, a la like the original Texas Chainsaw, right? And the last 15 minutes are literally, I get what they're trying to go for. It's supposed to be like a fake out, like a tense scene because our final girl was picked up by a woman in a truck, and the whole time the woman is talking to her on the way to the hospital. And I get it. It's meant to be tense, right? Where at any moment we're like, okay, Johnny's gonna pop out. She's not gonna escape. He never does, right? Like there's even like that. It's a long monologue by the driver, and then she stops the car because she's like, oh no, you're bleeding out. Let me patch you up. And then again, you're like, okay, Johnny's gonna attack now. He never does, right? The movie just ends with like the final girl staring off into the woods, kind of like, oh, he's still out there, or plot, or to represent like her trauma of what she went through, and it just ends. But on the one hand, you're like, okay, it's like you know, a fake out, right? But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, but similar to Pearl, if you remember that movie, where the character has a monologue there. I'm like, okay, but the cynical view for both of these is like, oh, so you're padding for time, because that's really what it felt like. It's like, even with half of that scene, it's still too long. Like, at most 5 minutes, but 15 minutes, like, you know, because in the first couple, you're like, oh, he's gonna jump out. After that, though, it's like, all right, we get it. And that's the frustrating part with this movie, is like 90% of it is like, all right, like, let's get on with it. Like, scenes are too long. Like, most of them are wide shots. This is like, it really gives like indie film, which, I mean, yeah, right? And it's most likely the director's first movie, but man, for a viewing experience, it's not great. It's unique, and I will say the concept is like a good one, but it's like you could have done way more, like with it, like yeah. Because if I had to rate this movie, oh man, it's a hard one, but I think it's honestly like a 6 out of 10. It's not great, like in concept. Like, look, I love the concept. Johnny is a killer, like pretty generic. He's pretty clearly a Jason ripoff. Even the name Johnny, right? They're both J. Um, but yeah, it's like 90% walking. Like it's really a snooze fest. Like, and I know some people love it, and I get it. This is probably like, oh, it's like I don't know. Some people see it as some artsy fartsy like breakdown of the slasher genre. I'm like, it's not that deep. It's literally a guy walking for most of the movie. Some decent kills, boring ass characters, and yeah, it's not great. Like, this is definitely a once and done movie. Like once you've seen it, you never have to see it again. Like, that's how bad of a viewing experience it really is. Yeah, it's not great. We probably won't get a sequel. If we do, yeah, you got to pick it up because that was pretty bad. But yeah, guys, those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you think. In a Violent Nature, just wait for streaming, honestly. But yeah, guys, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think. If you like this type of content, please like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good jazz. And as always, everyone, I've been your host, Oxy. Take care, and I'll see you next time.